Ready.
Okay. So, we'll start with arteries, then we'll go to veins.
Cool.
So, right here is the aortic arch coming out of the heart. By the way, this is that pericardial sac I was talking about.
Oh, you see it.
Yep. But anyways, this is the aortic arch. Branching off of the aortic arch, you have your brachiocephalic artery and your left subclavian, which is right here. And both of those are coming off the aortic arch. Now the left subclavian comes off the aortic arch, and it's called the left subclavian until it exits the rib cage. Once it exits the rib cage and is under that armpit, which you can see over here, it's called the axillary. And once it's out into the arm, it's called the brachial. And that works the same for veins as it does for arteries. So that's the left subclavian.
So the left would be on this side, and then the right.
And remember, it's anatomical position, so left and right.
Okay, but the right subclavian doesn't come out the aortic arch, right?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Exactly. It comes off that brachiocephalic artery.
Cool.
Okay, so moving up the brachiocephalic artery, you see 3 branches. The 2 more medially are your carotids, your common carotids moving up the neck. And then more laterally, out here, you have your, let me try and pick it up. You have your right subclavian.
Cool.
And that works the same way. It's the right subclavian until it exits the rib cage, moves out to the armpit where it becomes the axillary, to the arm where it becomes the brachial. Okay?
Awesome.
Your carotids go up the neck, right there. And that's it. That's it for the upper arteries. Okay?
Isn't there some that like connects them?
That's
Do we
the
need to know?
veins.
That's the veins.
That's
Okay.
for the jugulars. So,
Just
moving down the aortic arch, you can see the aorta. So coming right down this aortic arch, this long vessel right here is your aorta, moving the whole way down. Now, when the aorta is above the diaphragm, it's called the thoracic aorta. Beneath the diaphragm, it's called your abdominal aorta. Okay? So right here starts underneath this diaphragm, starts the abdominal aorta. The first branch off the abdominal aorta that you'll need to know would be your celiac trunk. And this right here, I believe that's kind of looks like it's coming off the inferior mesenteric, but we'll call that the celiac trunk for right now. And then after the celiac trunk, you have your superior mesenteric. Beneath your superior mesenteric, you have your renals on both sides.
So basically, just know them in order.
Yep, know them right down.
Right down.
You have your
Count.
renal right here, your renal artery, and that's on both sides going to both kidneys. And you also have your renal vein, they can run together, but we'll come back to that. And then the last branch will be your inferior mesenteric right there.
Cool.
Excuse me?
It's not as bad as I remember.
It's really not. It's always
don't know
scary. It's
why
always
I was
scary
so-
the first time we do it, but once you actually like look over it, you're
Yeah.
like, oh wow, it's really easy
And
actually.
tomorrow, I'll make it even better.
And then this is right here is where your abdominal aorta terminates after that inferior mesenteric artery. Now, you have your what was it? Internal iliacs for your arteries are in a different position than your internal iliacs from your veins. Your internal iliacs from your arteries branch right down off of that at the termination point of your abdominal aorta. So right here, that first little branch where they're still connected would be your internal iliac. Then they separate to your left and your right internal iliacs.
Okay. So left. Right.
And then out here, you have your, right here, you have your, I'm drawing a really big blank before the femoral, right here.
Oh, external iliac?
Is it external?
Yes, thank you. I just said iliac. How did I forget that? So right here, you have your external iliac, and moving down, once you get out above the femur into the leg, you have your femoral.
External.
Alright.
So external like goes to your femoral, like once it gets in there.
Yep, external
Gotcha.
iliac just turns into your
femoral.
left
Okay.
femoral.
Cool.
Yep.
So you're obviously not going to be able to pin the
Oh, I can pin the femoral. I can put a pin right there.
on the right.
And then that's what I mean.
Yep.
Okay.
And or we could just cut this open a little bit more.
And you could show
You could
us.
actually see it. Yeah. But so yeah, that
And then it would
that's-
just be right and left also.
Yep, exactly. This side would be your left external iliac moving to your left femoral.
Cool.
All right, that's all the arteries.
Not bad.
I'm back up here for this top.
Do you want to keep it in the same video?
Okay, so for your top, we have like the aorta for for the arteries was the main vessel. For the main vessel for your veins is the vena cavas. Your superior and your inferior vena cavas. So coming out of the top, out of the heart and moving upward, we have your superior vena cava, and superior vena cava goes to your brachiocephalics. Now, unlike your arteries, you have two brachiocephalic veins, these two right here. So in superior vena cava branches to your left and your right brachiocephalic veins. Those left and right brachiocephalic veins branch into two branches, so the more medial branch would be your external jugular on both sides. This right here, moving up the neck, more lateral than your carotids.
Gotcha.
And the second branch would be that left subclavian, moving to the left axis. I'm sorry, over here would be the left subclavian, that would be the right subclavian. Right subclavian moving to your right axillary, moving to your right brachial. Over here, left subclavian moving to the left axillary, moving to the left brachial. Okay?
Okay. And what were the veins again right there? That was called the
Right here?
the arteries right there?
Oh, these are the common carotids, and these are the external jugulars. That's what you were talking about?
The ones that go to the arm for the
Oh, okay. It's this. They have the exact same
Same
names,
name.
it's just
Okay, that's what I was
arteries. So this would be your left subclavian vein, and this right here would be your left subclavian
Subclavian
artery.
artery. Okay.
But yeah, the names don't change.
Okay, cool.
And then moving up the external jugulars, this would be your right external jugular, this would be your left external jugular. They're connected by your transverse jugular right here. And outside of that connection point where the external jugular meets the transverse jugular, moving outward would be your transverse scapular on the left side and right transverse scapular.
Okay.
Okay?
The transverse jugular isn't on the list, so we won't
No, it's something I added.
just.
Okay.
Yeah, just my little addition.
It goes across. Huh?
But you,
It explains the transverse jugulars, or transverse scapulars a bit well.
okay, they run right
Yep, right
even
across.
with it. Okay.
Yep, and you can see that right here,
Okay.
right across that neck.
Gotcha.
So you might pin that.
I could, yeah, because I brought it up for all of my classes.
all
I
of
did
them?
I do every year. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, now moving beneath the heart. I don't know if you can see it, but let me get a better shot over here. Here's a better shot. So,
Yeah.
moving down the heart, right there, you have that big vessel, that's the inferior vena cava. And that moves down, and you can see it right here. Moves down the whole way, terminates right about where the aorta terminates. So, you only have to know two branches off the inferior vena cava versus four for the abdominal aorta. Those two branches are your adrenal lumbar, which has kind of been torn off. It's right here.
So that's your first one.
Second one is the renals,
Renal.
connected to the kidney, just like the renal arteries.
There's
Like
only one
those.
adrenal?
Yes,
Or is there one
yes.
on both sides?
I think they go
No, they're on both sides.
They're on both sides?
Excuse me.
It just goes the other way. It's
Yeah,
kinda
it goes on the adrenal lumbar is kind of small, hard to pin, but
It's thinner.
I just
than
wanted
the
to make
renal.
sure it was on both sides in
Yep.
case it was pinned on both sides.
yep, yes it is. Okay, moving down beneath the renals, you have the termination of the inferior vena cava. Try and pick this up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah, you just post these. That'll be awesome.
Okay, so, and we're going to work with the right side just because it's a bit more clear. So, you have the termination of the inferior vena cava, and that starts your external iliacs. But for your veins, you have two external iliacs. You have your common external iliac, and then after that, it just becomes your external iliac. So this would be the right common external iliac, and then the right external iliac, and then the right femoral.
Gotcha.
How you differentiate between the common external iliac and just the regular external iliac is by the internal iliac, which is right there.
It branches off
Yep.
on one side or the others.
Exactly. So the
Yes.
after that branch, it becomes the external
External.
iliac.
Before
Before
it's the
that
common.
branch, it's the common. Okay. And then same thing over the femur out here would be your femoral, left and right femoral. Okay.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, really.
That's it.
Just gonna watch this like 10